I'm interested to know the evolution of your faith in a way. Uh, I'm wondering about where you started spiritually and how that evolved as you read more, learned more, heard other people talk more, uh, and if it involves an earthly being, such as the Christians may use Jesus as an earthly being so that they can more easily believe in God. And if you ever had that kind of a thing in your evolution. But where did you start? Did you start with the Chinese? Did you start with the Pan African? Did you ever go through Christian? That's kind of what the evolution is kind of what I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. For me personally, I remember at a young age, probably 7 to 8, just wondering about what happens after death. Do we go somewhere? Is it painful? What is it really? Because I couldn't find, no one. I mean, I was young. I wasn't even 10 years old, and this was before anything religious that I can really remember. And I think that desire of wanting to have a question answered is what started my mother uh, getting us involved in political stuff and then religious groups. The first religious group I remember, we were involved in the Muslims, and the Muslims had their own ideology. And my mother didn't like it. I didn't like it really because there were a lot of restrictions. So we went to the next thing. The next thing was more African, quote unquote, African type of religions, as we say, Pan African religions. Santeria, Apollo. And I saw then, as I was getting old, I mean, at that point, 14-ish, that they had they had correlations, if you will, to the Christian religions. Christian religions meaning there's so many different groups of Christianity under the umbrella of Christian religion. So my mind's like, wow, this is all, stuff seems so similar. These religions seem similar but different, just a little bit of a tweaking here, tweaking there, and they all had some kind of Jesus type of hero for the people. And so that's where my background started, as far as just wanting to know more about me and after death, and is there something? I hear this God thing. What does that really mean? What is that? And as I've progressed through my life and sampling different religions, if you will, and extracting some things from different religions, I've come to see that religion is just a road to God, but you can get there more directly, if you will. Religions cloak too many truths, too many simple truths in such confusing language and clothing that the average guy has a hard time getting through. And so my idea was just to try to find a simpler way. I live in modern times. I'm on Twitter, what my phone and stuff, and I'm doing this and that. I don't have time to do all this long, drawn out study that all the religions teach and preach. Because I believe that as we grow older, spiritual evolution or evolving or the wanting of expanded awareness, it should come naturally as we get older. So there shouldn't be a need for hours a day doing this and that in the name of spiritual culture, spiritual elevation. That doesn't make any sense to me. That sounds like there's too much effort, there's too much struggle, you know? And so now I'm at a point where I don't believe in religion as the way to God. I think that can be a mind matrix, and you can get lost in that loop for your entire lifetime. I believe now in a more direct approach, and that's over the course of my 35 odd years of going through different religions and sampling. I've come to that belief that religion doesn't really serve us. It hurts us because it keeps you involved. It keeps you under the thumb of too many oppressive beliefs that keep you from God. And it makes God into an entity. It makes God into a persona outside of yourself, outside of your body, outside of you. And that separation, all religions, most religions keep that separation between man and God. And you can't get there. You can't get there that way.